What is up, everyone? This is Charis, and I'm hanging out in my tree. See? Beautiful. And I climbed up pretty high today. There's the ground below. I can't really see what I'm recording, so I hope you can see it. And also, I discovered a little friend who's sharing the tree, and I hope that you can tell. I have to use my hand as a bit of a guide. He's right down there. Great big spider, great big web. I was coming through a couple cobwebs, but just like one string of cobwebs, so it was something that someone used to climb up here, and I don't usually come through those when I come up onto this tree. And I was wondering what it was, and then lo and behold, there he was. And I got a little startled, as you get when you come across a big spider web, or at least I do, with a big spider sitting there in the middle. And then I'm always forced to remember how big I am to that spider. And he or she could probably feel me coming, from the time I first stepped onto the tree. So it's probably afraid I was going to eat it or squash it, which is a lot more scary than me being afraid that it might leave its web and climb onto me and bite me for no reason. And this tree is, a whole ecosystem. Is gigantic. I mean, I don't think that I can give you the full experience. Well, I know I can't over the video of being here, but I have been having a lot of thought whirling over the past couple days, and that's why I'm reclining. I don't know if you can tell, I'm totally just sitting here and not even trying to use any of my muscular control to hold myself up, just totally plastered to the tree and trying to kind of connect as much of myself to it as I can, because that's a really good way to ground. And so I went into meditation after being here for a while and just breathing and trying to get quiet and trying to commune with the tree. And I noticed that, and you won't be able to see it in the video, but see how the sun is kind of peeking through the leaves over there? Well, you know how if you're in a room and it's kind of dark in there, but the shades are open and you can see the dust particles floating around in front of in the sunlight and the sunbeams coming in the window. Well, I was sitting here for a while and kind of leaning back, and I kept feeling these drops of water, these tiny, tiny drops of water hitting my head and face, and I was thinking to myself, I know it's not raining. This is Los Angeles in August, I think. Yes, August. And I know that there's nothing coming down from the sky. And I'm also aware that, trees have their own, there was one. Trees have their own, eco things going on inside of them, especially huge ones like this. And that they do, I think it's called transpiration, where they let go of water and stuff to cool off. And it's always cooler in a tree than it is outside, especially on a hot day. And so, outside the tree. And so I was aware that there's water transfer going on in the tree, but the tree is dripping water on me. And now, since I've been talking about it, there was the fourth one in the past 10 seconds. And I know it's some type of communication. When you're communicating with nature or elemental beings, they don't speak like we speak, so you kind of have to keep your mind open and try to get. And I know that a lot of information is carried in water, so I don't know what this tree is trying to tell me. I'm just kind of hanging out, because they're all dripping on my forehead. That's where it always lands. Not really on my shoulders, my arms, nowhere else. Just my forehead. Oh, there was one on my neck just there. But anyway, and so I'm looking around and thinking about the water thing, and then I notice where the sun is coming through the leaves in a particularly bright spot, and I see, kind of like you see the dust particles in a room, but I'm seeing all these tiny water particles flying around in that sunbeam. And it was really cool, because that definitely doesn't happen outside of a tree. And I know that there are no tiny water particles flying around 10 feet outside of the diameter of where this tree's reach goes. I am positive of that. And so all of this information constantly being shuttled back and forth across the tree. And every particle of water is alive, so all of this living consciousness, and then I'm breathing it in, and then I'm breathing out air that holds water in it, because you lose a lot of water from your lungs, as well as toxins, and your lungs are some of your biggest detoxification organs. So I'm just very aware that I'm communicating with this tree, and my logical mind can't understand it. And sometimes I try to, and once in a while I can get things through, but I know that a big part of it is just releasing and allowing the conversation to happen, even when my logical mind doesn't really understand or can even speak the language at all. So one of the ways that I first learned to talk to trees, once I was aware as an adult that I could consciously do it, because as a kid I did it. There was a tree in my front yard that I always used to climb, which, probably 20 years ago or something, someone had chained a dog or something to it, and so there was a chain on it, and the chain was constricting the trunk of the tree, and I would always try to get that chain off, and I would cry, and I would beg my dad to do something about it, but he didn't have any, cutters, and grown-ups and kids, they don't really understand that when a kid is freaking out about something, kids aren't any different than grown-ups, other than their minds just work a little bit differently. They're just as valid in their feelings and experience of life. So every now and then I fantasize about going back to my hometown with a pair of something that can cut that chain and cutting the chain off if the tree's even still there. But I haven't gone to see. Maybe I will. Anyway, so I was talking back then because it was hurting the tree and I could feel it, but I didn't know that's what it was. I just knew it really bothered me that it was there. So now as an adult, I've learned to communicate with trees, but it's much easier if you speak in emotions and in nebulous thought forms rather than specific words. I mean, you can speak to the tree and the tree will understand you, but the tree probably won't speak back to you in specific words. There are exceptions. This doesn't usually happen. So anyway, I'm meditating, and I balanced my chakras and connected to Gaia and connected to the Universal Center. And then I asked my guides what I should know today. And they said, just be as present as possible. Just completely relax and be physically present. And I got all of that information again about how, I've gotten it before and I've talked about it before, but about how when you're truly present, you don't have to do tons of energy work because all of your consciousness and light that could possibly fit into your body comes and gets channeled through your body, through your eyes, through your words, through your movements, and even, of course, your thoughts. But the thing about being truly physically present is you can't think that much. If you think that much, you're all of a sudden not present anymore. You can observe and feel and reply if there's a reason to, but it cuts down a lot on the chatter on all levels: physical chatter, mental chatter, emotional chatter, if you're truly present. Because if you're truly present, there's something new going on in every single moment. So to do that, you focus strongly on what you see, on what you viscerally feel, which is difficult for a lot of people, especially energy workers, because the energetic realm is very subtle. So a lot of times to perceive it, you have to shut down your body and get very still and relax all your muscles and go into the energetic realm. So then coming back to the physical is often counterintuitive for those of us who are very used to doing work on the energetic level. So for some reason I got the really strong feeling that today, this specific day, which is August 19th, 20th, I don't know what the heck day it is, it's Tuesday though, to be extremely present. Might be 21st, I think it's the 21st. Anyway, that just goes to show how I have not necessarily been that present, but it's not a bad thing knowing dates, as long as you keep your stuff in line. So I have a calendar. Anyway, so to bring yourself fully into your body, fully into your present moment, and that will help with a lot of the fuzzies and the yuckies that people are feeling this week. I think that we're acclimating to a new stage right now, which is happening really freaking fast. I mean, it's like every other week there's a new stage to acclimate to. And again, my logical mind doesn't get it because our logical minds are far behind. Our physical bodies and our physical reality is just the tiniest sliver of what's going on. So it's better to pay attention to what we're experiencing now and come here, rather than thinking much about the future other than what's absolutely needed, and that's less than you might think. Thinking much about the past at all, because every day you're a new person, so you might as well accept that rather than expecting yourself and expecting others to be their limited past selves. Anyway, try it out today and see what happens. I'm going to, because I got the direction, listen to it, passing it on to you guys. Have a good day. I hope that you have a wonderful one and that you can ground fully and experience your life in joy and gratitude. Go in peace, and I will talk to you soon.